This is going to be my last test, and the reason I started all this testing, which I've done all of this testing except this one many times, but I'm redoing them so I can share them because people have been interested in my findings. It's just unbelievable to me that over 40 years ago, NACA Report 354 was trying to encourage people to use alternative woods and especially ash, and yet nobody does, or virtually nobody, other than Wooden Aviation out of Missouri. So I'm searching for a reason why. I'm actually trying to prove ash has some inferiority to Sitka, and so far all I can find is the opposite. So this is my final test. I'm checking to see if it doesn't glue up as well. So we're going to start out with Sitka Spruce, and the first scarf joint, I did scarf joints. I did them quick glue up, where I just put the glue on them and clamped them, and I did them with a 10-minute wait for the glue to seep in. And this here one is, oh, let me see. This one is a quick clamp, so I just put the glue on it and did it, put it right together. Now I have two different sides. I have this long side and then this short side. The long side was my initial glue up, but I just used some clamps like these. It's getting dark in here, isn't it? And they slid a little bit, so they're not very tight. So that's another test. We're going to see if you don't get a perfect joint connection, see how well it does. The other side, I used spring clamps, light spring clamps, and I clamped at each end to make sure it didn't slip, as well as in the middle. First we're going to do the Sitka Spruce, and this is the quick glue up, and it's the pour joint, the one that slipped a little bit. And we'll just start at 1 inch and see what happens here. 2 inches, 3 inches. Let's go 3.5. Heard a crack of the wood. We're just testing the glue joint right now, so let's do it again at 3.5. Still holding. Let's go to 4. I heard it crack again. 4.5. Still cracking. Let's go to 5. Still, it's cracking the wood pretty good. That glue joint's alright. 5 inches for the Sitka Spruce, and that's the pour joint. This is the same piece of Sitka Spruce, but now we're going to do what I consider the better glue up joint. What we're also proving here is that a scarf joint is actually stronger than the original wood, because we know that this here wood was Sitka Spruce was breaking at 4 inches previously, and we just went to 5, and we did it repeatedly at 4 and 4.5 inches, and it only cracked a little bit. So this here glue in here adds quite a bit of strength. Its scarf joint's stronger than solid wood. So let's go ahead and start at 3 inches and see what we get. Might have heard a crack. And again, mostly we're just checking the glue joint. Wood's cracking. That was okay. Let's go to 4.5 inches. Wood's cracking, and you can see it's stronger than just the solid wood was. Let's go to 5. Didn't even break now. So build your plane and then lace it all with T88. 5.5. 6 inches. Big difference. That's the good glue joint, Sitka Spruce. Now we're going to check Sitka Spruce again, and this one is the one where we waited for 15 minutes before gluing it up. And we've already shown that the glue adds a lot of strength to it. This here's the pour joint, the one where it slipped. Let's go, this is the 15-minute wait. Let's go ahead and go right up to 3.5. Hear the wood cracking a little bit. Let's go to 4. 4.5. Let's go to 5. And this is the pour joint, but waiting 15 minutes. 5.5. Okay, that wood cracked. Not as bad as the others, but it's thoroughly cracked. So 5.5 inches. Okay, this is Sitka Spruce. This here is also the delayed glue up, waiting for, it was more than 10 minutes. It's probably closer to 15 minutes. And this here is the well done joint, the one that I put the clips at each end to make sure it didn't slip or come loose, and spring clips so they kept it tight. Let's go ahead and start that at 4 inches. Five inches. The wood is cracking. Joint's holding good. Let's go to 6 inches. And 6 inches. The wood snapped right off. Oh, let's put some lights on this thing. Okay, now we're going with the Select Ash. I forgot. Oh, it's right here. Quick. This was the quick glue up. In other words, I spread the glue and attached it. This is the pour joint that slipped, and we're going to go ahead and go right up to let's go right up to 4 inches. Let's go to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11 inches for the ash. Okay, once again, this is the ash, this was the quick glue up, and this is the good joint. The other joint that just broke was the joint that had slipped, and it broke at, what was that, 11 inches? I didn't write it down. Just a second. Let me write that down. Okay, this here is the quick glue on the ash, and this is the better of the two joints. Sorry about this. I'm trying to do this one without editing because I'm tired of doing all this testing since I've already done it before. Alright, this here, let's just go right up. We know that the pour joint snapped at 11, so let's at least go to where the best Sitka was. Let's go to 6 and 7. 8, 9. Oh, I heard a crack. That one was at 9. But it's the wood. We're testing the joint. And 10. Alright, 10 inches. But that's the wood. What we're really testing is the glue up. Okay, this is Select Ash again. And this is the waiting glue up. I waited at least 10 minutes. It was a little bit more. And this here is the pour joint that had slipped. Let's go ahead and start at 6 inches. 7. 8. Something's falling off of it. 9. 10. And it cracked at 10. But the wood cracked. Nothing to do with the glue up, which is what I'm trying to find out. And that was Select Ash. This is from Missouri. I actually requested this wood from them since I found out that they're the one aircraft company that builds all out of ash, and I'm grateful to them for sending it to me. Okay, now this is, I don't know, hold on. This is Select Ash, and it is the glue up that was allowed to set for 10 minutes. And this here's the better of the two joints, the one that I made sure had some spring clips in it. Let's go ahead and start at 6 inches. And we're not really testing the wood, we're testing the joint. We've already tested the wood. And we're proving several things here. 7 inches. Kind of let that one down. 8. 9. It cracked. And, well, but it's still holding strong. But that's the wood. I just want to make sure 11 inches, the wood cracked pretty good there at 11 inches. But we're not concerned about the height. We already know that the ash is significantly stronger. What we've tested is that these joints are holding. It doesn't matter if it was glued poorly, glued well. All of the wood is snapping well before the glue up. Okay, well, our results, we are not that interested in the heights that they cracked. What we're interested in was the fact that they glued up well. I was thinking this was the final thing that would show me why people still use Sitka Spruce as their primary wood. Even after NACA, Report 354 shows how superior ash is. And it's not the glue up. And with all my tests that I've run, most of them similar to or the same as NACA's tests, I've proven what they proved and even better towards ash.